Dear brothers and sisters, let us continue the book reading Voice Real, written by Babuji Maharaj, chapter My Existence. I must assert that God alone is the giver of negation and of all higher approaches beyond that. But for myself, I may assure you that all that I have got was from my dear Master alone. Though I am thankful to God as well for having molded my tendencies towards Him. The method for securing God's help is the same as that of seeking the Master's help. This has also led me to direct love of God, which may be known to be one of the greatest boons. Only a few perhaps have been able to follow this course, though it is of the highest value and efficacy. An abhyasi, while intensifying his craving, lagan, must at the same time be at least as submissive to his guide as a schoolboy is to his teacher, and it is also an essential part of his duty. The guide does not thereby gain anything from himself, but it is the abhyasi who profits by it and increases his capacity. A real guide is never eager for fame or honor, and there are examples of saints who have often courted general disrespect by adopting outwardly at times things derogatory to their position. There is one such instance related about Kabir, which helped him to get free from the association of his false followers. Here, Babuji Maharaj is emphasizing on the complete negation, the state of complete negation. One should get this state of complete negation or even beyond that only by the grace of God. And only God has to bestow this condition. But in his case, in Babuji Maharaj's case, whatever the condition he got is from his beloved Guru, Lalaji Maharaj. So, Babuji is saying that I am thankful to God for cultivating my love towards my Master. Here, in our spiritual pursuit, how we can get the help from our Guru, similarly we can get the help from God. But for Babuji Maharaj, he got direct love of God through his Guru. This is one of the greatest boon where only a few can get this highest state of condition. Then how to get this condition? Here Babuji Maharaj is explaining that an abhyasi should intensify his craving or thirst to achieve that highest state of condition, and at the same time he should be submissive to his guide or guru like a schoolboy to his teacher. How a schoolboy obediently submits himself and obeys each and every instruction of his teacher, similarly an abhyasi should submit himself to his guide until and unless one cannot achieve that highest state of condition. So this is an essential part of an abhyasi's duty. So it is very, very important to submit ourselves to the lotus feet of our Master. By this act of an abhyasi, what a guru gets or guide gets from that? Nothing. He will not get anything, but at the same time, the abhyasi will be profited and his capacity will be increased and he will be progressing faster and faster. Further, a real guru or guide will never aspire for any name, fame, or honor. And there are a number of examples of ancient saints and sages who have even often courted general disrespect by adopting outwardly things. There was also an incident related to Kabir which helped him to get rid of the association of his false followers. That means a guru can have huge followers, but among them there are very few number of real followers. When time comes, then one can identify who are the real followers and who are the false followers. So let us read further. I wish you all to acquire during my lifetime the highest approach beyond, or at least the state of thorough negation. It is not so very difficult under the efficient system of Sajmar. I strongly affirm that such a masterly type of spiritual training cannot be had anywhere but in our Sanstha, which runs under the kind grace of my great divine master. It is certain that the followers of such a high road to divinity have ever been few at all times and in all yugas. Only those who are destined for liberation are attracted to it with eagerness and zeal. Here, Babuji Maharaj is wishing all of us to acquire that highest state of condition and even approach beyond that during his lifetime only, or at least the state of thorough negation, that is nothingness. And he is saying that it is not very difficult under this efficient system of Sahaj Marg, because this system of Sahaj Marg is really a natural way and a very much scientifically proved means to achieve that highest state of condition. So Babuji Maharaj is strongly affirming that such masterly type of spiritual training cannot be had anywhere else but in our Sanstha, and it is running under the kind grace of his great divine master Lalaji Maharaj. See his Guru Bhakti, the devotion towards his master. Always Babuji Maharaj used to say that it is by the grace of his divine master, and he never utters a single word that I did this. This each and every abhyasi should inculcate this feeling in the core of his heart. And Babuji Maharaj is saying that it is certain that the followers of such high road to divinity has ever been few. There are very few people who want that, who are eagerly to achieve that. who has that quest to reach that highest state of condition at all times and even in all yugas, he is saying. So, who can achieve that state of condition is that only those who are destined for liberation. Who are destined. This is very important. It is not for everyone. It is for the people who are destined for liberation. They are attracted to this with eagerness and zeal. This is what Babaji Maharaj is saying. So, according to me, we should think that we are one among those who are destined for liberation, and we should try our level best and strive hard and create that eagerness and zeal within us to achieve that state of condition. Let us read further. In the present age, there are few who are true seekers even of liberation, for people generally do not think the aim worthwhile in comparison with the charming attractions of material wealth and prosperity. The wrong inducements offered by roaming sadhus and sannyasis have further enshrouded our understanding with false notions of grossest physical type and have pulled people down to solid gross forms and practices. This is very important point to be noted by each and every individual, because in this present age or scenario, only few people are there who are really interested to get the solution for their life. So they are called as true seekers, and they want their liberation from these worldly bondages in this lifetime only. But for people, generally, they do not think about the aim, and they will not even think that aim is worthwhile. When they compare this with the charming attraction of the material wealth and prosperity, isn't it? Because people think that spirituality is for old age people and not for youngsters or middle-aged, because they want to enjoy this life. Everybody feels that we came to this world to enjoy this. So they will search for the happiness. So in search of happiness, they feel that acquiring these worldly things will give them pleasure and happiness. So they will run behind these worldly things and becomes restless day by day, more and more. In addition to this, the sadhus and sannyasis of our country has misled the people by advising them the grossest physical type of worship, and because of that, the people are pulled down to the grosser forms and practices. Here, I can assure all of you that the system of search mark is the surest means to achieve up to that level. Let us read further. People get firmly engrossed in them It is beyond their power and capacity to get out of the condition and to mold themselves to the right course. It would have been far better if they had done nothing at all for the purpose so that they could have offered themselves to a real guide when the opportunity came. A piece of raw wood is much better than a piece of crude furniture, which is almost impossible to transform into the proper desired shape. The degradation on this account is almost complete, and ungodly things and ways have come to be treated as pious and godly. Nature's stern eye is therefore now directed towards it with full force, and what may come to pass in the near future may be quite beyond common conception. As a rule, nature never interferes with the working of one whom it has endowed with its powers to act in accordance with the need of the time. Whatever working in this connection lies to my charge is all tempered with nature's kindest grace in subjecting me completely to my master's will and command. For that reason, it is now only the master's orders that are awaited in this connection. Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying that people are engrossed firmly in this kind of worship. So, it is beyond their power and capacity to get out of the condition and to mold themselves in a right path because they are used to it. They believe that that is the only right means of practice because their eyes are fixed in acquiring the worldly things, not the real spirituality. And further, Babuji Maharaj is saying that it would have been far better if they had not done anything so that they could have offered themselves to a real guide or a capable master, Samartha Sadguru, when the time came or the opportunity is bestowed by God. He is quoting an example of raw wood. A piece of raw wood is much better than the piece of crude furniture. Isn't it? How? With a piece of raw wood, we can give any desired shape. But for a crude furniture, it is almost difficult or impossible to change its shape. In similar way, for a person who is engrossed with the solid forms of practices, it is very difficult to transform his internal condition to the subtler means of worship. Further, people are deeply induced with the wrong idea and wrong means of worship and making them to think that ungodly things and means of worship is the true and pious means of worship. So, for this, nature has taken a call and it is directed towards it with full force. And what will come in the future that nobody can guess because it is beyond common conception. So, and as a rule of nature, it never interferes with the working of such a personality, divine personality, to whom it has entrusted its powers to act in accordance with the need of the time. And whatever the working in this connection that is lying to the charge of Bapuji Maharaj is all tempered with nature's kindest grace in subjecting his work completely to the will of his divine master Lalaji Maharaj, and according to his command Babuji Maharaj is working. For that reason only Babuji Maharaj is waiting for the orders of his master Lalaji Maharaj. That means Babuji Maharaj is doing the nature's work according to the will of Lalaji Maharaj. So dear friends, let us conclude today's satsang and let us know more aspects in the forthcoming satsang. Till then, I take leave. Pranams. Namaste.